So as it turns out, politicians in Washington, D.C., most of them, are totally cool with the idea of supporting Saudi Arabia as they continue to slaughter people in Yemen. Yesterday, the U.S. House of Representatives, the Republican-controlled U.S. House of Representatives, actually had the opportunity to go ahead and bring to a vote a bill that would have stopped the U.S.'s support for the Saudi regime's massacres in Yemen. It was an amendment to a farm bill put forward by Democratic Representative Ro Khanna. Ro Khanna, who is quickly emerging as a hero among the Democrats in the House of Representatives. But before that bill could come out of committee, they added a provision that actually prohibited a vote on that Ro Khanna amendment. So they tacked on an amendment that prevented them from even being able to vote on ending support in Yemen. Now, here's what happened. When this amendment was added, actually, it was the Republicans who got super pissed about this. They weren't happy with it. They didn't want that. So they flipped. And we actually had the votes at that point to not pass that amendment. And then we could have taken the vote on whether or not to support the murderous Saudi Arabia regime. And then 5 Democrats flipped and gave the Republicans, the remaining ones, enough votes to kill it. Those 5 Democratic representatives are Jim Costa, Al Lawson, Colin Peterson, Dutch Rupperberger, and David Scott. If anybody happens to be living in a district represented by one of those Democrats, I would go ahead and get your paperwork ready so that you can primary them in 2020. These 5 Democrats in the House of Representatives are the sole reason why we were not able to put an end to the bloodshed. These 5 Democrats, and of course all the Republicans who voted with them, they all have blood on their hands now. They own this. This is theirs. They're totally okay with the fact that Saudi Arabia is using weapons that they're buying from U.S. weapons manufacturers, specifically targeting school buses filled with children. They're okay with that. They're okay with the bombs that we're sending hitting civilian areas. They're okay with that. Those are our bombs. Saudi Arabia is launching them, but those are ours. We built those. We're exporting death right now. And these 5 Democrats, again, Jim Costa, Al Lawson, Colin Peterson, Dutch Rupperberger, and David Scott, they're all perfectly fine with the thought of the U.S. being a leading exporter in death. Why? Because they want to buddy up with Saudi Arabia, even after it was crystal clear that their leader, Mohammed bin Salman, ordered the murder of Jamal Khashoggi. They know that. They just don't care. Because Saudi Arabia pumps a lot of money into the U.S. weapons industry, and those same weapons makers pump a lot of money into Congress. So again, if you live in a district represented by one of these 5 scumbags, go ahead and get your paperwork ready and prepare for a primary fight where hopefully you can oust these know-nothing Democrats and maybe, in the process, make the world a little bit better by finally standing up to Saudi Arabia.